Chapter 3 starts off with Hammond giving me an explanation.
You've got two problems, and
Man, who needs Hammond or Kendra when I have a blue light? Unless your light is Navi.
Hey, listen!
Anyways, the chapter starts off with me dooring up the tram with whatever I could find. I ended up making a door out of trash bins and a foam cup. Progressing through the actual game, I pick up an audio log by Temple, also known as Isaac, before Isaac. I think I'll play his audio log in the next fight. With Temple's speech postponed by this gas-masked man, who I try to feed soda before feeding him to the door gods, but the door gods disapprove of the sacrifice, so he becomes Thumper. Thankfully you won't get to hear it because of Temple.
Personal log. Acting Chief Engineer Jacob Temple. It's been 2 days since they pulled that planet open, since the captain died. The panic, the riots, they were nothing compared with what came after. Our friends, our co-workers, started coming back. Changed, coming back to kill us, drag us away. Rucker disappeared this morning, and I have to assume he's dead. My crew, they're starting to crack. I'm trying to keep an eye on them, but right now I have bigger problems. We're hemorrhaging fuel, and the primary engine is laboring. Danvers and I are going to try to reach the fuel depot to see if we can fix it. Temple out.
With Temple's speech done, I arrive at this gondola room, which I need to power up. Nothing interesting happens really, except me stepping on the corpse, ignoring EA's scare attempt, and some fights. Until I reach the gondola, which is already occupied by a person. On the gondola, I try to figure out what exactly I should do with this dead body. Eventually I came up with the idea of hanging him outside the gondola and waiting for him to get cut by the gondola dock, all while ignoring the necromorphs ahead. In practice, however, the idea doesn't work out very well, since the clip gets clamped up, which provides Isaac with a Nito meat shield, but only until the necromorph breaks through and randomly and instantaneously kills me. Round 2 starts with gameplay me seeing something fall down into the abyss. Gameplay me is convinced that it's a corpse, so as I ride the gondola, I repeatedly kinesis the abyss hoping for the guy. I obviously never find the guy since he was just debris. With my gondola button gone, I then properly defeat 2 necromorphs ahead, even with a failed flame canister explosion. The 4th necromorph, however, mousetraps me. A bit ahead, I pick up another audio log. I'll play it now since the future fights are worth talking about.
Never should have let him live. Never should have let him live. Shut it, Danvers. Shut it. Engineering log. Temple reporting. Someone has shut off the fuel lines to the primary engine and damaged the valves in the process. They need to be repaired before I can reopen them, but we're running out of time. With the engine offline, orbit decay will begin in less than 10 hours. I just can't understand who would do this. If it's one of those crazy unitologist bastards, I'll break their neck. Henderson said they were coming. We never should have let them live. Shut up, Danvers! Help me with the tools. Temple out.
The adventure continues with a new flame canister buddy, who watches me turn on the refueling sequence, and get eaten by a necromorph. Before I ineffectively sacrifice it in the lurker fight. With the gondola room objectives completed, I return to the starter room to see the man I placed in the other room, back on his chair, and getting infected. Obviously we had to fight them, so I try that, but from the other room, and it seems like the threshold's scaring the necromorphs off. Like, what? Come back. Fight me. Which the infector does. Even with the 2 necromorphs dead, the eerie music continues to play. Which freaks me into progressing the game. During my progression, I find an audio log. Too bad the quarantine room up ahead has cool stuff for me to talk about, such as me waving hi, me picking the wrong corner to fight the first slasher, me being unable to see the second slasher, and the leaper, which doesn't do much. After the quarantine room, we have this, a hallway with gaping holes. And if you've played this game before, you know that this means a tentacruel fight. Something I forget about as I make my return. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. But for now, we have turbine room, audio log, catch-up time, and a music video if we have more time.
This is Temple. Now the centrifuge is offline. We've got 4 trillion tons of rock hanging off our ass, and without that centrifuge to balance the ship, the gravity tethers will pull us straight down to the colony. I'm heading in there now to see if I can fix it.
With Isaac escaped from the turbine room, we have a tentacruel fight. Thankfully, my awesomely upgraded plasma cutter and the normal difficulty made this fight pathetically easy. In hindsight, I probably should have let the thing carry me down the hallway, instead of having to walk there. Back inside the starter room, I head out into space, where I tried to get the bad ending, but EA just gives Isaac an ending. Probably shouldn't have jumped at debris, as well as away from the planet. Back for round 2, I actually almost die from suffocation, and we return to montage, since nothing talkable happens here, just a noisy room. And riding down elevators. After the elevators, I head into this big engine turn-on room with a montage that leads to the end, since I forgot to write a script for this part.